other. He's a friend from work.
I'm just a simple man trying to make my way in the universe.
Don't you ever talk about me!
The Killing Time Podcast with Lux and Cody.
All right, welcome back. Episode 16 now of the Killing Time Podcast with Lux and Cody. How you doing, soldier? What's going on tonight?
I'm here, brother.
You're here. I'm glad to see you. I feel like, I don't know why, but it feels like it's been a long time. I know last week we were just on here for a little bit, but it feels like it's been a long time. I don't know. It's only been a week, though. You there?
No, dude.
What's going on?
It just went to this, it's still open. It just switched my screen.
Oh.
It just went to something. It just,
We're in?
Zoom being Zoom.
We're
in, baby.
Should we just end it now?
We're in,
All
baby.
right, that was episode 16. Thanks for joining in.
Thanks for joining us here. We really appreciate it. I'm glad you had a good time and liked what we talked about. Talking
Just
about them
crushing
stimulus checks, baby. So I'm thinking about I think I want to spend my whole stimulus on White Castle.
Is that so? Well, first, where's the White Castle? Or are you gonna get the frozen ones?
No, ew.
Have you ever had those? Have you had them, the frozen ones?
Lux, I wouldn't eat White Castle. I'm definitely not going to eat the fake ones from the grocery store.
I want to eat real White Castle, but if you get that frozen shit, criminals eat better than that. Or not prisoners, I should say, not criminals.
You don't want to eat White Castle.
That's prison food.
You don't want to eat. Yeah, but you don't want to eat White Castle.
That's historical.
Where's the closest White Castle? Or they don't exist anymore?
They exist, aren't they out west? That's like the history of the burger right there.
I've been to a White Castle before. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you got them in Ohio, White. Yeah, they're around, dude. But you don't want to eat there.
Those are those little shits you get from the frozen section at the grocery store. I swear to you, they get better food in prison. Those things.
Yeah, dude.
Tell me that's cheese. Tell me that's cheese.
Mm-mm.
That's all. I mean,
listen.
It looks like astronaut food, but it's not even that good.
No, it don't look like astronaut food, dude. Well, I can see what you're saying. Mm-hmm. I do get it now if I think back on it. But I'm thinking of it like out of its package, already cooked. It looks like just shit, just plain cardboard. Old shit.
You should just eat the package. You'd be better off.
You have better success, right?
You ever had
better success?
Astronaut ice cream?
Yeah, dude. They made that in school.
Do you like it?
I don't remember it.
I like it. I just had some, well, not just, but the last time I had it was at Disney. They had it there.
You used to be able to get it at Carnegie.
Yeah, that's probably still can. That makes sense. And like the gift.
And then we made some of it. Mm-hmm. But back to the White Castle. You don't eat any of those sandwiches that come frozen. Don't do any of them unless you know what.
That's tough.
Will you eat one of the Jimmy Dean's breakfast sausage sandwiches?
I'll eat one, but I don't go out of my way.
No, I'm saying,
I'll get them.
No, okay, but listen. So, here's the deal. If you're ever gonna eat those, you got to be taught how to eat one of them. I'm gonna lay it down.
What do you do?
I'm gonna lay it down. I'm gonna lay it down for you now, broski.
Please.
Fold that bitch in a paper towel and put it on defrost. Don't put it on cook in the microwave, and it'll change your life.
Does that make a difference?
Yeah, it does, dude. It really does.
But the defrost, I feel like
defrost warms it. The microwave turns it to rubber.
I don't know. Maybe I've just never had a really good microwave. I just feel like defrost in the microwave is bullshit.
Oh, can't do that.
I feel like I've put meat in there to defrost before, and it starts cooking it.
It's hours, dude. You got to put it in that thing. Don't defrost your meat. Just do it the night before. Come on.
Isn't that what it's there for, though? Isn't that what it's there for?
No.
What's it there for?
No. That's for idiots. Okay, it's there for it's there for the people that don't know what they're doing. You know what you're doing. Sit your meat out.
No, normally I haven't done this. I haven't done this in years. Never had a good defrost. I've never had a good experience. I don't even look at that button anymore. I don't trust it.
How about the popcorn button?
Never. Never the popcorn button.
How do you cook popcorn in the microwave?
You 3 minutes and 3 minutes and 30 seconds is what you do, right?
Yeah, but you got to listen to it.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. You got to listen.
I haven't since you got me that thing. I've never made it in the microwave.
You like that thing?
Yeah,
It's good.
awesome. The only thing I don't like about it, maybe it's the kernels. So if you pop a bag of popcorn in the microwave, like 95% of them pop. But in the popcorn maker, it's more like 75% pop. You know what I mean? That's the only downfall, but the quality is so much better. Tastes
Yeah, it's so much better. Do you use that stuff that I got you?
Yeah.
I forget what it's called.
Yeah,
but dude,
whatever
listen.
reason, they don't always pop.
So have you ever heard of these things like I'm talking about? Like listening to the popcorn and like funny things that people do with food? Like you ever heard of the people like knocking on watermelons or like shaking cantaloupe?
What do you do with the watermelon?
I don't know, man. Like I see people at the store like knocking on it. Like I see this one guy reading a fairy tale and shit. Like I don't know. I don't know.
Playing the flute to it. What's it gonna do? Get up and do a dance? Da 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 da. Pineapples start coming up, and what are we doing? So you knock on the watermelon to do what? Is this like a what's the word? Quality test? Is this like a ripeness?
Yes, like so first of all, I'm assuming the answer to the question is no. You haven't heard of this kind of stuff, right?
For sure not that.
No, okay, so you've never heard of like
knock
them
watermelons.
I only knocked watermelons.
I don't knock watermelon. I'd like to knock one off someone's head every once in a while. I've never just knocked it.
Nah, man, I've
knock
seen
fruit?
this. I've heard of it. I have.
What do you do? Why are you knocking fruit?
Well, see, here's the thing. Sometimes when you're lonely, listen. I've heard of this, but I've never known what to listen for.
Does it play a jingle?
I've watched old women like muscle out a 35-pound watermelon, dude, out from the bottom of the cardboard. This big crate, dude. She's upside down. Her feet, all you see is her stockings, and she's just upside down. She comes back out with a 35-pound watermelon.
Palms it like Jordan, right? Palms it.
Just Congo and knocking on this thing, just like walking around like it's a drum, pop, pop, pop. You know what I mean? She does a march around the thing. And I'm like, what is she doing? But she's not the only one I've seen do this. They knock on it, they listen, or they like knock, and like if it's hollow, I guess it's not ripe. I don't know the story. And then I've seen people shaking cantaloupes.
Take one of these to the grocery store.
So like, do you know? All right, so. Yeah, there's all these kind of different things that people do to check their fruits. Like I don't know how to check if a fruit's ripe. I don't know how to tell like if a good pear is ripe or not.
Have you ever bought a watermelon and it wasn't right when you got home? Like if it looks good on the outside, it should be fine, right? Like bananas are an easy one. Buy them. I'm just
tearing up watermelon.
You just tear it.
Watermelon's watermelon.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. I know what you're saying.
That's weird. I've just never bought a watermelon and got home and like, shit, I should have knocked on the other ones.
Definitely seen it done.
That's weird.
Remember, I live in a farm town, so.
They should have their own watermelons in the backyard then. The hell? Where do watermelons... I don't even know where watermelons come from.
Well, you see, Lux.
A daddy watermelon and a mommy watermelon.
Well, I imagine they grow on the ground just like anything else.
Is it a vine?
I think it's like a patch.
Oh, like a pumpkin.
Like patch. A pepper patch, a cucumber patch.
What's a pepper patch?
Patch of peppers.
Oh, dude,
like
I pictured. I pictured the table peppercorn.
A patch of the black pepper.
Oh, ew.
Yeah, that's when you spill it on the table.
Is that?
But anyways, yeah, dude. So I went off on a tangent about this fruit here, but there's just different things that people do. and that you've been taught. Like I've been taught to listen to the popcorn. There's just different things like that different families do. And
How
I don't know how we
satisfying?
got on knock it up.
How satisfying would it be to smash a watermelon over someone's head?
You know, I mean, yeah, obviously it'd be great. I gotta just not before I think too much into it. Obviously, I don't get as much excitement out of smashing it over their head as I do dropping it from a 5-story building and it landing flush on their head. That's more of a thrill that I would like. But I do have thrills where I'd like just like I've always often wished I had like if I could pick one superpower in the moment, it would be better if it was in the moment. But if I could pick one, I would love to be 100% accurate with my throwing aim and full speed. I don't know if that's 2, but I'd like to be a perfect pitcher. Dude, I would just like, could you imagine just like drilling people like you knew 100% it was going to hit them in the face. Just from like 50 yards out, just a Nerf football, just full speed, just fucking hitting people. Oh, it'd be fucking beautiful. Oh. Everybody else picks flying and shit like that. I want to be able to fucking just be dead accurate.
You know that guy that just the world just revolves around him. Like he's in his car, you got to get the hell out of his way so he can park. Or like he needs to be at the front of the that guy. He's just in his own. Just a fucking gadoosh, right? Just split and the satisfaction to just launch.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I don't think it does split.
What do you think?
I think you're knocking him out. I think you're knocking him out, bro.
Well,
and I want to be this with you. I think I've seen that guy get hit in the head while wearing a Bluetooth with a bag of trail mix. I really do think I've seen that guy.
Definitely. I hate to say it, but he definitely drives a Mercedes, like an older one, like a 2012 Mercedes, like the Bluetooth. But so I'm not a physics major, obviously, but I'm pretty sure if it breaks, that actually lessens the impact. So if it bounces off your head, it's going to hurt a lot more. Like if I hit you with a glass bottle, if it just goes ding, that's going to hurt more than if I break it over your head. Now, you could get cut from a glass bottle, but... So the watermelon smashing on him is actually better for him.
Break
but
the fall.
Visually, it would look more... It would look better visually if it just...
Satisfying was the original question. Yeah. So how satisfying?
Oh.
Yeah, absolutely.
That would be awesome.
Absolutely.
There's those guys everywhere.
We're here. We're smashing watermelon.
Like what's the male version of a Karen? Is there? I mean, is there a name? Have we all has society agreed upon a name?
Would it be a Paul?
I don't know. Because Kyle's like the monster drinking, Subaru driving, American flag.
That's more Jake to me, but I don't know if Kyle got it. I don't know how he got it, but Jake.
I think they're interchangeable. Sorry, Jake, but I think they're interchangeable, right? Mm-hmm. But Kyle is the term for that, but that's not the right guy. I don't know. Scott, is that a Karen? Or
yeah, I can see.
Like a Kevin or like a Trevor? I don't know.
Kevin.
James.
Kevin it is. Kevin and Karen.
Kevin.
I like Kevin.
K and K, that works.
Don't be a Kevin.
Don't be a Karen or a Kevin. You know? How do you ever watch like the Karen videos like online?
No, they drive me nuts.
Well, because you live it. You've lived it. So I get it, but
I meet real Karens.
Yeah. It's funny though.
Like for real Karens.
It's sad when you're in the moment, but looking back on it, some of the shit that they get bent out of shape over.
My God, it's funny.
It is.
It's
How
funny
do
to
you live life like that.
The first time I watch it, I'm pissed off. The second time, I try to like laugh at it. If I watch it,
I love when they have to laugh. There's just one Karen in a. There's just one Karen in an airport getting kicked out, and she's screaming at the top of her lungs, but it's like literally like, you know, a kid starts screaming and he's not even saying actual words anymore. She's just just screaming her head off. And then like she can't just walk out the door. She had to turn back around again. Like, and here's another one. It's like
she's so tormented. How she's so tormented?
How is that acceptable to being a grown adult and you're acting?
Imagine what her kids are.
A temper tantrum.
Imagine what she's breeding.
What I don't know what a tantrum is. Temper tantrum. Tantrum, whatever. But literally a temper tantrum. Like, you're not a toddler. Why are you doing this? I don't fucking get it. The kids got to be. They got to be. Oh, little Tasmanian devils, little spawns of Satan.
No, their kids. Yeah, their kids are shot.
Yeah, shot. They're beat. Good night. Good night.
Done.
Mm-hmm.
Done.
Put them in one of the Siberian prisons right now.
Dude. That's crazy. I was thinking about that today.
Siberian prisons?
Thinking about how, like how crazy would it be to be, not to, like, I'm gonna go on a completely different subject, but
you're fine.
Do we as like a society that hasn't, like, is prison one of those things that you have to live it to understand it fully?
Oh, for sure.
Or do you think you can imagine it? Like, because, and then do we really take serious the transition from living in there to like in the real world? Like Lux, you know how long, like we look at people in prison and we look at 5 years in prison like it's nothing. Like, we just say it so, what do I want to say, so easily. Like, we just say it like it's nothing, right? Mm-hmm. Like, oh, he's 10 years. It's crazy, right? Like, and then when that person gets out, you know what I mean? Like, I was thinking about that today. Like, I think us as people, as a society, it's like, whew.
To me, that sounds like an eternity. And you're 100% right with how, like, liberally that's thrown around. And then people that, like, involve themselves in crime, how insignificant that is to them.
There it is. Yeah.
And then and part of it's because of the way society, well, I should say American society, because most countries aren't like this. But to me, that the idea of being locked up and my rights taken away, like, that sounds like an eternity. You know how you got something you got something you're really looking forward to, and it feels like it's an eternity away. Like, whether it's something next summer, like a vacation or a concert or anything, like, you're really looking forward to it, and it's like, damn, I cannot wait until I get to this. It feels like an eternity away. That's what. On a much smaller level, that's what I feel like it would be like. Every day, you're in this freaking box. Like, I'm
with another
for
man,
5 years, yeah.
With another grown man living in a box.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, but here's the thing. Again, what do you think? Most of it stems from them not having anything. That's why they take it so it's so insignificant to them.
Well, if you grow up with people that are in and out of the system, then it's just going to be normal to you. You know?
So is it one of those things where it's like, maybe it's not as bad as we think it is, but we don't care about the prison. We care about the loss of freedom. We care about the loss of time because we have things, right?
And this is just a speculation, but you know how you can just, most people, you just get a read on them, like, just generally speaking. So, like, for example, like, you can have a conversation with someone about a cell phone, and you have really quick, you're going to have an idea if they have any idea what they're talking about, or zero idea, you know? Like, this guy doesn't know the difference between an Android and an iPhone, or a freaking Razor, for all that matter. You know what I mean? I feel
kind of a curse for me. I live my life that way.
Yeah.
I live my life by judging people quick like that.
For sure. I would imagine in prison, the people, like, let's call them the veterans, the people that are there long period of time, like, that's their life now. I feel like whether you're there a week or you're there 3 years, they can sniff you out right away and tell what kind of person you are. So to those kind of people, like, that have accepted that that's their life, like, in prison, it might not be that bad to them. But I can tell you right now, if me or you got locked up tomorrow, it would be literally hell on earth, right? to have all your freedom
Yes.
stripped away. I feel like there's people that to that person it might not be that bad individually.
Yo, it makes me eerie just you saying something like just thinking about or talking like that. Like you know what I mean? Like the thought of us being locked up.
Listen, Greg lived in a freaking what's it called, a parking garage for 2 weeks. That was prison for me. There's no way I could do that. You understand?
I mean, I could do it if it was work. Because I get to know I get to go home. But like, dude, imagine telling me I got to do a year. You tell me 6 months, 3 months, 30 days.
I wouldn't last a week.
Now, but then how does so do you imagine there's a whole nother, like, obviously there's another economy. Obviously there's a whole nother way of living in there, right? There's a whole nother life in there.
Yeah. So
how do you think, like, my whole thought was, do you believe it's like, it's lacks, like, we're no concern, like very, very few concern about how the transition from a long stretch in prison to the real life is? Like, imagine not having to pay bills, not having to, you don't have to do anything really.
Yeah.
Which is, you know what I mean? Like, there's zero responsibility. It's just worried about waking up and going to sleep, really.
Yeah.
And I mean, do you think we don't, as a society, we don't take it as serious as we should?
No, because then in 2 weeks you're at a freaking Burger King and some manager who's worked there for 7 years who can't even wipe his own ass is telling you to scrub a toilet with a toothbrush. And you're like, I shanked shits bigger than you in prison, and now I got to listen here and take orders from this guy. Then you go crazy and kill the manager at Burger King, and they stick you back in the cage. You know?
Should prison not be factories for us? Like, shouldn't they build
I think
big
prison
factories?
should be rehabilitation. In most cases.
Rehabilitation is one thing, but I know what you mean in the genuine sense. See, it's so easy for me to write off rehabilitation because we generalized it so much and it's just so cliche, right? But I know what you mean, to actually help people. But how do we help them? How do you help them?
Well, because of the system is the way it is.
Do we care enough to even worry about this?
I think we should, but I think we should as a society. But it's like the stigma put on people in the prison system is like they're almost not even humans anymore. You know, like Dave. You gave away the chance to your rights. Like they're treated like they're not even humans anymore. And when 9 times out of 10, we don't know a single thing about them if they actually deserve to be in that position to begin with. I mean, there's so many levels to it. There's people that obviously deserve to be in prison. There's people that don't have a place in society for whatever reason. But I don't know. I just know it's not good.
But to deem somebody eligible to live in society again. Like whether it's been 3 years, 4 years, whatever it is, but then to still set them up to live as an animal or to live wild, it doesn't. You're saying that they're eligible to be a part of society, but they're gonna still be the outcast. They're still gonna be not part of society.
Yeah.
In a sense, I don't know. I feel kind of strong about this because I got I got friends that have like been held down by this kind of stuff. Like, I don't mean held down. They've overcame it, but I've seen what they had to do. You know what I mean? Seeing what they had to do. They had to work extra hard. You know what I mean? It's not a pity party for them, but it's an extra step. Like you strip their livelihood from them, come out with no driver's license, no home. You know what I mean? It's like, dude. Yeah. Starting from scratch. That's one thing. We started from scratch when we were kids, and so we were somebody's responsibility. Yeah. These people, you wonder why the homeless population is so bad.
And while you were in there, you were probably kicked around and treated like a dog too.
Yeah.
For that period of time.
But I was just thinking about it today.
That just being built, like burned into your skull, being treated like that every day for that long.
Dude, I had a customer came in. This is what made me think about it. I had a customer come in 40 years in prison. 40 years in prison, was from New York. He got shot. He survived the shot, and when he got healthy, he went and shot the guy that shot him. He's from the Dominican different kind of lifestyle, right? But he tells me, this is what really hit me when he said this. It was the simplest thing, but he said, I didn't even know how to use the gas pumps when I got out. He's like, I still don't know how to pay bills, really. He doesn't even know what the cell phone is completely. The 40 years.
This dude's in the Stone Age. How would
40
you know
years
anything?
he got
How
out.
would you know anything?
He wants to go back. He wishes he could go back. He says sometimes he gets in these panics and wishes he could go back because life was easier.
But that's like when you hear about like war vets.
Ridiculous, man.
War vets can't sleep in their own bed. They want to go sleep in the desert.
It's ridiculous. Imagine hearing that. I'm like, yeah, man. Well, just enjoy the finest. I don't know what to tell him. I don't know what to say.
Yeah, think about it. If every day for 40 years I kicked you in the shin, and you went a week without me kicking you in the shin, it would feel weird.
Yeah, it'd feel weird.
Every day you woke up, I'd come over and kick you in the shin for 40 years. A week of me not your body is already preconditioned to get kicked in the shin.
Yep. That's why people get their foot cut off. They still feel their toes and stuff. Mm-hmm. For the first, because it's just like a familiar. It's familiar. You're absolutely right. So it was horrible whenever he told me the minute thing of saying he didn't know how to use the gas pump. Mm-hmm. And then it was like, oh, I can understand how technology passed him up. It's 40 years. Yeah, right? Dude. But then whenever he said, whenever he got down to the nitty gritty and was like, I wish sometimes I could go back because it was simpler. I didn't have to worry about paying bills and just doing things in society, coming up with money and just he learned to live one life. But anyways, I don't know why I got off on that. It's just some thought that came to me today. Customer I dealt with.
It's a wild thing, and I really think I don't have the answers, but the way our country treats it, it's not right. It needs to be overhauled, revamped, whatever. It's too what's the word? I don't know. It's too capitalistic, I guess. It's like a business. It's an industry. It's a business.
100%.
With all the private prisons and shit. I don't know.
Yeah, you heard the inmates are getting stimulus checks?
Really?
Yeah, they're going into their accounts.
Oh, so that they can spend at the commissaries or whatever they're called.
Yeah, but that's going to go right back into the state. That's not the show face.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Isn't it like a, I mean, I don't know if I should even repeat this because this could be terribly wrong. I read it's a $1.9 trillion bill and trillion and only like 300 billion is going to the stimulus. So that leaves $1.6 trillion that are going to wherever in this.
Isn't that what happened every time?
Probably, yeah, whatever.
Isn't that what happened every time?
I don't know. Here's how little I understand the government. If we're trillions of dollars in debt, how are we spending trillions of dollars?
Bro, is it worth even feeding into it? Aren't they just doing what they want to do anyways?
Exactly.
We just gotta
the thing that pisses me off.
Look how it doesn't make sense.
Why do we don't play by the same rules? If you're in debt, if you owe, let's make it thousands. If you owe $1,300, you can't spend $1,300, can you?
No, I can, but I probably had to borrow it from somebody else.
Yeah.
And I'm never spending my money.
No.
And here's the other thing. Bro, how about this? We got a government that leads by an example that says we're trillions of dollars in debt, right? Mm-hmm. But then they go and spend another $1 trillion, 1.9.
Yeah.
Okay? They go and spend that, and the average American misses a car payment, and they're coming to repo their car and take their whole...
Repo the car, your credit score's in the shitter.
These kids are 20 years old and 23 years old and they don't pay their student loans and you're going to take them out of their paychecks.
Yeah.
But yet we're all on debt. We're all the society, the country's on debt.
It's all debt. You die and you still owe student loans.
$1.9 trillion for the American people to see $3 billion or $300 billion, whatever it was.
But hey, we can't cancel out student debt though.
No,
we can't do that.
Healthcare for all, out of this question.
Can't do that. Universal basic income, can't do any of that.
They have been. Do you know this month makes a year of the pandemic? It's crazy. It's been a year already.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's been a year, and they've been giving money out. Andrew Yang said $1,000 a month.
And people laughed at
I mean, can you look at it? We're almost there.
I remember in January and February, like, damn, China's not looking good, but everything else is all right. And then come to March, they're partying in China and the rest of the world's on fire. Crazy. And here we are a year later.
Here we are signing a $1.9 trillion bill to release open up. Open up. That's the only answer. Get everybody back to how it was.
Right.
Bro, you have to. I hate to say it, you have to.
I mean,
but we have such a flawed where numbers are real, numbers are fake. Dude, we live in such an unstable country that what do we know though, dude? I get to go 17 feet and I get running water, but I live in an unstable country. I just can't even listen to myself talk anymore. I'm serious. Like,
it doesn't make sense though. You're right.
It's so fucked. It's like it's out of this world.
Yeah.
It's out of this world.
We're just lucky we don't live in a major city like LA or New York, because we would have had it way worse than we did. Way worse.
What's the game plan
for those big cities like that?
For anybody. For moving forward. What's the game plan? We're a year now.
All the businesses that have been closed and that will close, it's like, I don't know.
It's like, here's $1,400.
Meanwhile, and Bezos makes like $2,500 a second.
It's listen. I think the American people more than I don't know about. Listen, I obviously can't speak for everybody, and it's crazy to think this, but I would be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised about the number of people that would be happy with a true game plan on how we're going to get back to normal versus than to get that $1,400 stimulus. I am one of them. Give me a true game plan on how we're going to get back to normal and how we're going to get back to yeah, we're surviving like this, dude. And yeah, maybe it didn't affect me crazy, okay? But it's a trickle down effect. It's an effect all over, and it's not, to me, this hasn't affected me lifestyle as much, a little bit, of course, because I don't do as much as I used to. It affected me, my viewpoints on our government and our country, and I need it to end because I need some kind of normalcy, because the faith I'm losing in this country is just it's outrageous, dude.
Yeah.
It's outrageous.
Yeah, I'm with you.
It's embarrassing.
It's scary.
It's embarrassing. But
really.
Anyways, hope we can get back. We could talk about this. We could talk about this.
Talk about what? The microphone?
Yeah, the microphone.
Okay.
No, we could talk about the UFC event.
Yeah.
Which was great.
I got the card. Let me pull it up.
I smacked this fucking microphone in the next Tuesday.
Share screen. I gotta get used to doing this a little bit. Here we go. Okay. So, I mean, you said Izzy was gonna win. I thought Jan was gonna win. I wasn't surprised either way at what had gone down. I will say, No. I didn't say Izzy was gonna win. The hell you didn't.
Then how did I win money?
I mean, on the podcast, you said Izzy was going to win.
Okay. No, but I definitely thought Jan was going to win leading up to it after I watched stuff. But anyways, go ahead.
On the podcast. So the main thing that surprised me is how technical of a fight it was. Definitely wasn't the barn burner and fireworks show that people were expecting. I was superbly entertained. I thought it was a very entertaining fight because that level of technicality at 205 pounds, like, you rarely see something like that. I was blown away by both fighters. I thought they both looked fantastic. And Jan just fought the better game plan, I think. I think both fighters probably could have put out a little more, but I think they were just kind of fighting the safe fight, which I totally understand in that position. But I thought it
Jan
was
Blachowicz is a very impressive individual.
yeah,
very
sure.
impressive. Hats off to him. Technical, cardio.
It's a
big guy.
Interesting to see what's going to be next for both guys. Because I think
hopefully Darren Till wins.
We got cheated out of the Jan versus Jones fight. That should have happened. So now we're probably not going to see that. So I don't know who Jan's going to fight next to defend.
Glover
I guess
Teixeira.
Glover Teixeira, right? Which he's had quite the resurgence. That dude was like on retirement's doorstep.
Dude, he beat the teeth out of Anthony Smith.
And Anthony Smith just went 5 rounds with John Jones before that. So,
listen, Izzy will fight hopefully Darren Till if he beats. Oh my gosh, who's Darren Till fighting?
It's escaping me too. I'm trying to look at.
Well, never mind. But if Darren Till wins his fight, he's fighting the Italian guy, Marvin Vittori.
Yes. April 10th.
Yeah, so if Darren Till beats him, Izzy called out Darren Till, so that's who he'll fight, and Jan will fight Glover probably.
Yeah. So
we can move on from that now. Dude, that was amazing. I was confident Jan was going to win leading up to it, though. Mm-hmm. You don't sleep on Izzy, but anyways, keep going.
Yeah, and then everyone knew Nunes was going to win.
Yep.
I thought it was at least going to be a competition.
Competitive. Yeah.
That was probably the easiest fight of her career. That was the easiest fight of her career. Yeah,
I think
it was worse than the Ronda Rousey fight. That was worse.
To give some benefit,
because at least the Ronda Rousey fight, it looked like Nunes broke a sweat trying to knock her out. She literally walked in there, like hit her a couple times, like walked around her and then like choked her out. It was like, it looked like a training session. It looked like Nunes was the instructor and Anderson was like the dummy, and she was showing us how to choke someone. It was like literally a walk in the park.
I think yes, not to take anything away from Nunes in her greatness, but Megan was scared or nervous. She got hit hard, and I don't think she recovered from ever getting hit.
She looked like I think she
realized how hard. What's that?
She looked like she never fought before.
Yeah, I think she just couldn't handle the pressure because Megan Anderson's no joke. No joke at all.
I thought so too. I didn't think she was going to have a chance, but she's huge, 6 foot tall.
Yeah.
She's talking about being the true 145-pound fighter in the UFC. And, like...
I could see.
She didn't even show up.
No.
That was bad.
That was bad.
Bad. And, like, the bad thing is she didn't even get beat up that bad. You know, like...
Someone was saying that it was a merciful submission.
Yes, it was. Like, she took it easy on her. That was easy light work. Like, that's what I'm saying.
Amazing.
Like in gym, like the instructor's not going to beat the shit out of the instructee, right? That's what it looked like. It didn't look like a beatdown. It looked like it was an instruction. I don't know. That was a weird.
Yeah, it looked like the instructor was beating the student.
It was weird.
Just going in there ham on him. Yeah. Black belt on a white belt.
But like being kind about it.
Yeah, but being gentle.
Yeah, I don't know. Then we got I guess it's controversial, the Jan versus Sterling fight. So, I hate
no controversy.
I hate to admit this because how much I despise gambling, but while that fight was going on, this is why I hate gambling so much. While that fight was going on, just before Sterling got kneed in the forehead, I literally had a 3-fight parlay on my phone ready to go. I was going to take Sterling, even though he was losing, but the odds were so good. I was going to take Sterling, Nunes, and Jan Blachowicz $10 would have won me $460. He gets kneed in the head, and then it closed. They closed betting on the fight immediately, and I didn't even say anything because obviously I was giving you. Yeah, I was just so. But this is just the way this is. I just should delete the apps and never look at them again because that's my life.
Listen.
I would have won $460.
Me too. I bet 15 and won 130 when I could have put 100 stack on that and won 800. But who knew Aljo was going to win? Because if you watched that fight, he didn't. I
will say it was not as one-sided as people were making it seem to be. Like Aljamain Sterling is still very much in that fight. He was slowing down for sure, but who's to say he couldn't have finished him? Who's to say he couldn't have got a knockout or a kick or even a submission? Like it didn't look like it was going that way. It definitely didn't look like it. It wasn't that one-sided though.
He didn't need to.
He didn't.
There's a disqualification for a reason.
No.
None of that has to.
You're 100%
I know
right.
what you're saying, but none of that has to be proven. Mm-mm. We don't know. No. We don't know. Like you're saying, we don't know. And Aljo lost the fight up until that point, I would say. Yeah. But
I just think
don't know. And
from what I've seen online, the consensus is that Jan had that fight won. And to me, he was winning. He didn't have that fight in the bag, though. Like, there was still time left for Sterling to win that fight.
I would say he had it in the bag, if you ask me, because of how gassed he was.
Mm-hmm.
He was fatigued.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I don't know how his second wind is. I don't know how his peak is. I don't know. Yeah. I never really watched him fight a long fight. Last fight he fought Corey Sandhagen and choked him out.
Such an interesting
let's talk about
interesting game plan he had.
No, he said it when he interviewed. Whenever I watched the interview, he was like, I was slipping and falling and stumbling. He's like, if I go back and look at myself, I look like an idiot. He's like, I don't even know what was wrong with me. I don't know what it was. I was stepping, and he was throwing me around. Maybe excuses, or maybe he just doesn't know what He admitted that there was something wrong, and you could clearly tell, dude.
Yeah,
he'd throw kicks and fall on his ass. Listen to this stuff.
I like to see him pushing the pace, though.
Dude, he said he could go 5 rounds that way. He has video evidence. He doesn't need to prove anything, but he does that in training camp, and that's what he was anticipating. Maybe an adrenaline dump. Who knows? But let me ask you this. What was the necessary reason for the commentator, for Joe to say, like, about the corner telling him to knee or telling him to throw?
I have no clue. I didn't get to any of that.
Lux, at what point? Listen, do you hear all that? Do you hear all this chatter about like? At what point does the world champion not know the rules of the sport that he's in?
Seriously.
How?
Seriously.
How do you not? Why are they even giving it thought? And Ariel's on there talking. At one point in time, they were talking about the corner. There may have miscommunication. I get to talk about it because it's something to talk about, but that should not matter.
No.
Regardless if it's miscommunication or not, he should know the rule.
Mm-hmm. If I know, I was literally about to say, don't knee him, because it looked like he was going to, and then sure enough, he goes and does it. So. Well,
even Aljo said that he asked his corner. He looked over at his corner and asked his corner.
Mm-hmm.
And why does he have to ask? How does this guy not know the rules of the sport that he's in? Yeah. How? And should he have to take some kind of a training class or something? What should he have to do? Should he be able to fight right away? Or is it or do you think it was it's not a mistake?
No, it wasn't a mistake.
Or does he genuinely not know the rules? What is it? What is it?
But I mean, clearly he doesn't know the rules, I guess, if he thought
how embarrassing is that?
Yeah, the whole thing was bad. It was bad. Because that's one of the more notable. Like some of the stuff with the elbows, like the John Jones rule, that one's a little more because so you're saying I can do this, but I can't do this. But you can't do anything with your knee to someone on the ground, to the head.
No, and here's
you can hit him anywhere but the head.
And also the internet's saying that he faked it and he could have went on. Sure. First of all, he didn't fake. He embellished. he embellished something that was real. Faking
so?
is doing. If he did anything, I'm not saying he did, but I'm saying if he did anything, he embellished.
Yeah, he didn't fake the fucking knee going through his face.
Dude, the real knee hit him in the face, and honestly, he shouldn't had to have been asked if he wanted to continue. No. How much softer is he now? I mean, would his lights get shut out? Why does he have to take unnecessary damage?
Right.
Like why? It should have been stopped automatically. Mm-hmm. People should just leave him the fuck alone. And how do we not have common sense? The internet is just retarded anymore. Mm-hmm. The internet's not even brutal. It used to be brutal. Now it's just retarded. Yeah. Everyone's retarded.
I don't understand why you can Jorge Masvidal flying knee someone in the face standing up, but if their knee's on the ground, you can't do it.
Because and you're right, and you can't use this as an example because if you knew you could get kneed in the face, you wouldn't be knelt down, crouched, and taking a break.
Exactly. I mean, you're doing that because you think you're safe.
Yeah,
that's
you
the
only
problem.
did that because you knew you couldn't get hit.
That's the problem.
And maybe he was pissed because he was stalling. Who knows? Mm-hmm. But I also know the internet canceled Dr. Seuss this week or last. When was it? Why Dr. Seuss get canceled? Or his new 6 books or whatever.
So I'm kind of torn with the Dr. Seuss thing because one, I think it's absolutely ridiculous to start with. But in the second hand, I understand if I owned a publishing company, if I'm in charge of putting those books on shelves, and I know that some of that material is in there, I wouldn't want to do that. I wouldn't want to make those books. So here's what I would have done. Hey, Jim, do that box of books right there? Back there in the factory? Yeah, we're not sending those ones out, all right? Just keep those. Send the rest to Barnes & Noble. I'll take care of it. What I'm not doing is 6 books by Dr. Seuss have now been taken off the shelves and tweeting it out there and writing. And I'm not saying that that's how it went down, but if I'm the one that makes that decision, I'm keeping it as hush-hush as possible. They just don't show up next week. And then guess what? Not a single person in the world knows. Because here's the thing. Before 2 weeks ago, everyone that's getting all pissed off right now and buying Dr. Seuss books and saying cancel culture's this and cancel culture's that and libs are taking over the world. Every one of those people saying that thing right now, did they even know those books existed 2 weeks ago? No. So sit down and shut the fuck up. All right?
Well, here's the thing. Having said
that, I understand why a publishing company doesn't want a children's book to say the people that wear slants in their eyes. I get that. I wouldn't want to publish that either.
Are they innuendos?
Whatever they are. Or are
they blatant?
Some of it's very blatant. Yeah. Some of it's very blatant.
Very blatant.
Yeah. Hey, I'm not saying remove history. That's not what I'm saying. That existed. It had its time and its place. All I'm saying is if I own the publishing company, we don't need to make it anymore. Just like if you buy World War II memorabilia, it might have a swastika on it because it was made at that time. Whether it was a pendant, a flag, a uniform. Guess what we're not making anymore? We're not making memorabilia anymore. We don't make shirts with swastikas on them. We don't make flags anymore, all right? It's a different story. We're not getting rid of history. We're not rounding it up and burning it all. That's not what's happening. We didn't find all the Dr. Seuss books and chuck them off a cliff. Big difference.
But I get what you're saying, but forget the fact that of erasing history. Mm-hmm. And forget the fact of what it's actually about.
Yeah.
It's as far as like what was in the books or who it pertains to. It's the fact that this is a society is what we've become. Yeah. And it's speculation. Regardless of anybody wants to say, they never sat with the man and he admitted out of his mouth that's what he meant. Mm-hmm. So regardless, you can say you can connect 2 and put 2 and 2 together, but still it's like the Bible. It's speculation to some people, right? You either believe it or you don't. Mm-hmm. What I'm saying is like we're to a point as society where me and you just talked about the debt, we talked about the prison, we talked about some things that are going on, and this is what the mass media, the mass movement, people want to focus on children's books. Yeah, that is what I'm saying.
It's no different.
Forget the Dr. Seuss, forget the history.
It's no different than when a comedian tells a joke. A comedian tells a joke and then someone gets offended and it's like, no, you don't get to change my intent. My intent was to make people laugh. If you didn't find it funny or it offended you, that doesn't mean I can't have a job. That doesn't mean I lose my job because you didn't like it. Because I said the joke to 1,000 people and one person doesn't like it. It's the same thing.
Isn't it?
Isn't
it all cancel culture?
Yeah, you're right. You can't retroactively change the intent on something. But you can acknowledge that something was made in the past and it doesn't fit the viewpoints of normal society. You can acknowledge that. And that's where I think there's a gray area.
Sure. No. It's only a gray area because of cancel culture. Yeah. Because if it was like you said, the guy said to the Daily, and all we knew is Michigan News. I don't know where this was, but all we knew was on Michigan News. Local publisher says he doesn't want to do Dr. Seuss books because it's racist. Just like the lady didn't want to bake the cake because they were homosexuals. It blew up off the media. But if it just stayed small and it didn't go this whole mass movement where they're all buying GameStop stock and all this fucking Dr. Seuss, like if it wasn't such a mass movement and cancel culture with the Seuss thing get involved, then it would be what you're saying.
That is part of the problem.
I can understand.
It's like a trophy. Like we're so woke. Look what we did. We ended Dr. Seuss now. We throw it out.
Well, you
and
took
we're gonna rub
Dr.
it in
Seuss.
the face. We're going to rub it in the face of everyone that's against us. To the Republicans.
Dude, it's almost like, but you know what it's like? It's almost like these people are going back to their childhood and like hating their childhood and trying to.
The thing that's worse is the potato head thing. Mr. Potato Head.
Dude. How? It's worse. Pepe Le Pew.
That's worse.
Dude, they did Pepe Le Pew because he forces himself on women.
Women? So when's the last time you saw a skunk and called it a woman?
A female skunk. Listen to this. Remember whenever, like, I thought it was a joke, but remember when it was Baby It's Cold Outside? The Christmas song, and they were trying to get that not played?
Yeah.
Bro, it's crazy. Like, this is what's bothering. Like, literally, all the stuff you could be mad as Americans, and you want to point out Dr. Seuss. Like, dude,
And you know it's so weird? You know it's so weird with all this?
It's like they like to find it.
Why are rappers just absolved by everything? Why do rappers just get to do and say whatever the fuck they want? Outside of Eminem, apparently. What's Eminem getting canceled for?
They tried to cancel him for the things he said, but it won't happen.
Tell me not Run DMC. Tell me DMX and NWA and all of them don't have worse lyrics than Eminem.
Dude, 100%. And check this out.
Dude,
how are you guys offended by these books? Or not even these books. How are you guys offended by Mr. Potato Head and all this stuff? But yet Cardi B WAP is like the number one.
God. I've never sat and listened to an entire rap album in my life, but doesn't NWA have like, you know how they like certain rappers will have like cut scenes in between their songs? Like 30 seconds of just people talking or whatever. Doesn't NWA have like an actual rape? Like they rape a girl, or is it maybe it's not NWA?
I don't know.
Someone like that. Someone like one of the big '90s rap, Wu-Tang. Like they raped a girl in one of their.
I don't know, but I know that if you listen to what you're saying, NWA is, we all know what that stands for.
Yeah.
Right. So just the name, and then he's like, I reach back like a pimp and I slapped a hoe. They're talking about hitting women, you know. Like
rappers never get canceled. I don't get it. Makes no sense. I'm not saying we should. I'm just, why don't
rappers don't get canceled?
They get to play by whatever rules they want.
Yeah, because that would be. I don't know.
Weird. It's weird, isn't it? They get to to scribble on their face. They get to die of pills. They do whatever the hell they want. No one gives a shit. Shit. Yeah. If you die at 23 of a rapper, they're gonna give you a statue, a mural, on a brick wall somewhere. You get everything. I don't get it. But I don't know. Maybe I'm just.
I don't either.
But hey, a potato doll from the 70s, or how old? It's probably even older than that. How old is Mr. Potato Head? Someone who just woke up one day and said, "I don't like that this plastic doll from 90 years ago is a male."
How do they rally together on this?
And how?
What is it? Reddit groups? What is it?
How does the company fold to that? How do they bend over? How are they just like, no. See, what you're misunderstanding is that for you to be alive right now, it took a male and a woman to conceive you. So Males and women can't exist because you wouldn't exist
Give me the
for them.
accurate-
So
Give me the accurate scoop on the potato head situation.
I don't know. I do not know. All I know is people are not happy, and I can't even bother myself to read into it.
To look into it.
I can't. It's too sickening.
Me either.
I just know that
I listen to bits and pieces of it, and I'm just like, whatever.
It's just potato head now. It can't be gendered. Listen, if you want to,
Why don't they have female parts and male parts that you put on? Like the female has the dress, like the bow. Or
if you personally don't want your kid to have Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head, that's between you and your kid. That's between you and your kid. But for us normal people, if we want to buy Mr. Potato Head, if we want to buy G.I. Joe, if we want to buy Barbie, so Barbie should probably all be
normal. Define normal.
People that don't get offended by fucking potatoes, plastic potatoes. That's normal. That's what's normal.
Define normal. Who are you to say what normal is?
I'm not even. What do you mean? Normal? For 26 years of my life, a plastic potato never hurt anybody, unless you stuffed that up someone's ass.
But is that normal? Or is that just what you declare?
I'm sorry to say, but you're not normal if you got a problem with a plastic potato. Come find me. You're not normal.
This guy used to say.
Hey, if you want to glue horsehair to your head, if you want to chop off your balls, whatever you want to do, that's on you. Plastic potatoes, they're not going to hurt you. All right? If you got a problem with plastic potatoes, you're not normal. I'm not going to judge you. If you want to tattoo your eyeballs and stick carrots up your ass, do whatever you want. Plastic potatoes are never going to hurt you, though. All right?
So what are they going to do about Barbies?
I guess they got to be gender neutral now. I'm offended. I'm offended. We have Ken dolls and we have Barbies. Can we just make it carby?
Well, I'm mad because we don't have. Can we have fat Barbies and fat Ken dolls, please? This is bullshit to me.
Oh, I don't look like Ken.
Why is every man portrayed to a kid have to have a six pack?
There's no Ken doll that looks like me. 5'9".
I'm pissed.
It's bullshit.
This is bullshit.
I don't feel
dude.
represented.
I mean, I understand why you don't make them. I understand why you don't make them 5'3", 250 pounds. You don't want to scare the poor kid. But Jesus, can we get a dad bod on one of these Barbies? One of these Ken dolls, man. This
Cody, that's
bullshit.
Mr. Potato Head.
Yeah, I know. That's what I said.
They got rid of him.
I said, well, can't go as Mr. Potato Head this year for Halloween. Guess I got to get a yellow T-shirt and a pair of bibs. Minion.
Hold on. Let me lighten the mood here. You ready for this guy?
Lighten the mood. I got this bright light going on.
You ready for this guy?
No.
Okay. Tell me what you think about this. Can you see my screen? This is Chinese neck man.
What's he saying? Turn it up.
It's in Chinese. It's in Chinese.
What's wrong with him?
I have no clue, dude. I got
Jabba
no
the
clue,
Hutt.
dude. He looks like, what was that movie with the thumb people?
That's not real.
It's real. It's 100%
Spy
real.
Kid.
He looks like the thumb
Spy
person
Kid.
from Spy Kids.
Yeah, dude.
Dude, he looks like he looks like he
ate.
ate all of Thanksgiving in one bite and never swallowed. This dude looks like a turtle without the shell.
He looks like a bullfrog.
Oh my god, that's a real human being. Look at he's getting a haircut with but they're using nail clippers. Look at this shit.
Dude, how do you find this? What is wrong with you?
He's pissed. He's got a wig on now. Yeah, the Chinese neck man. Look at him.
I can't.
That's
look
tough,
at it
isn't it?
anymore.
That is nightmare. That's nightmares right there. Imagine if we had Chinese neck man on the show. What would you ask him right now? What's the first question for him? If he's on here right now with his freaking, what would you ask him?
Nothing. I wouldn't look at him. I wouldn't fucking talk to him, dude.
Why would you, hey,
I'm fucking Chinese neck man. Look at me right now.
it's 2021. You got to start accepting people, Cody. He can't help it that he has a neck that looks like a bratwurst for a neck.
He looks like a thumb.
Literally.
I do too. In my one driver's license picture.
How many driver's licenses do you have?
My old one that I had.
Oh.
I
You have a shaved head? Oh, no, he's
whole
talking
nine.
again. What the hell? Oh, no.
Shut him off.
Neckman
What would you ask
came
him?
back on. Oh, boy. If I could talk to...
Actually, I would ask him. Can I say what I'd ask?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, let me say. I just thought about it. I would ask him if he would be cool if I buried him head first in the sand with just his body sticking out, and so that whole neck just supporting his body straight up like a handstand, but his arms straight out to his sides. Could you imagine how great that would be? Just burying him into the sand, and all it was his body.
Oh, my God. You know what? I would ask him if we could...
I don't know, but I wouldn't look at him.
How perfect would he be for like a human Patrick Starr? If we just put a point on his head and he's already got the neck, we could turn him into...
That's basically what he is.
We could turn him into Patrick Starr. That's what I would ask him if he would be willing to be a human Patrick Starr. That's what I would ask him.
How hard can he headbutt?
Oh, that's just strange. Very strange.
Dude, I'm watching all the Marvel movies.
Uh-huh.
Speaking of strange, what do you think about this real quick? Let me run this list by you real quick before we get off here. Mm-hmm. And tell me what you think, okay? And tell me if there's maybe something I could Come on, I shut my phone down, dude. All my sounds are off. But anyways, let me do this real quick. I want to run this by you real quick.
Okay.
Now I've watched a lot of the Marvel movies, obviously, but I want to try to watch them. I want to try to watch them now that they're all out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'll just tell you. Okay, so the first one they tell me to watch. What do you think about this? You ready? They said to watch Captain America: The First Avenger.
Okay.
First. Okay. Mm-hmm. Then they said to watch Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
And then they said to watch Iron Man 1. Mm-hmm. Then 2.
So technically, I think Incredible Hulk is after Iron Man 1.
Well, it says to watch Iron Man 1, Iron Man 2, then The Incredible Hulk.
I could be wrong. It does. Incredible Hulk doesn't really matter. You could definitely go without watching that movie, but...
And then Thor.
Mm-hmm.
Then The Avengers, Iron Man 3.
Mm-hmm.
Then Thor, Dark World.
Mm-hmm.
Captain America, Winter Soldier.
Mm-hmm.
Guardians of the Galaxy, Guardian of the Galaxy 2. Avengers, Age of Ultron. Ant-Man, Captain America. It's not much longer, so I'll keep going.
You're fine.
Captain America, Civil War, which I've watched most of these. Spider-Man, Homecoming. Doctor Strange, Black Panther, Ragnarok. Avengers Infinity War, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Endgame, Spider-Man Far From Home, WandaVision.
Yeah.
He's like,
yeah. That sounds
he's
right.
like, yeah, yep, sounds
right.
good. Yep. We're like, sir, are you sure you want us to blow up the city mall? You're like,
yeah.
Wait, blow up the city. What was you talking about? Wait a minute. I just agreed to that.
Yeah, that sounds about right. What? So how far are you?
What was the first one?
How far are you?
No, I said what was the first one? No, I'm on. We're on the third. We're about to watch Iron Man.
Okay.
Which I've watched, obviously, but I want to watch them in order. Kind of like binge watch them. You know what I mean? I wish it was like a TV show.
The original Iron Man. The original Iron Man. I just watched it recently.
The original Iron Man is one of the best movies of all time. Is it not?
Yeah, it's definitely one. So it's hard. It's so hard to pick a favorite out of all of those movies. But I'll just say, original Iron Man, Captain America: Winter Soldier, Thor: Ragnarok, and then Endgame. I'll just put Endgame and what's it called? Yeah. You know, the one right before Endgame.
Infinity War.
Infinity War. I was gonna say Infinite Warfare, but that's Call of Duty. Infinity War. I'll just put
Call
those.
of Duty.
That's just one movie because it pretty much is one movie. And it's hard. It's hard not to put. I mean, I love the first Avengers. I love Ultron. Shit, it's tough.
Would you
tough. Gardens.
Would you say you're a big fan of the collection then?
Oh my god, yeah.
The universe,
god. For sure.
What's your favorite super hero movie?
Just one?
From both universes. Yeah, like what's your one go-to favorite?
From any superhero?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Dark Knight Rises.
Of course, you got Dark Knight. You got Logan. You got Deadpool. And then you got out of the Marvel movies.
Yeah, but what are you going? What are you going with it?
I can't. It's hard. It's hard because I feel like, and it's so easy to say Endgame because Endgame is like, it's this like culmination of all this, of 22 movies you've sat through. And it's like, it's the final payoff and it's just so big and it just gives you everything and everything and everything. So it's so hard not to say Endgame because of what it took to get to that point and then how sweet of a payoff it was.
Yeah, but listen.
But the problem with Endgame is you need 22 movies to make Endgame.
Yes. Yeah, think of it this way. In the collection of the 22 movies you're talking about, one of them hits different. One of them just is better, and that's Iron Man 1. Hands down. Out of all the movies.
It's
Civil War? Did you like Civil War? No?
Yeah, I like Civil War. Yeah. I like Civil War
was
a lot.
Great, but I think Iron Man 1 was just hit different for some reason.
Iron Man 1 and then Winter Soldier, those are probably like the best, like if those were just the only movie. If like I just have one script, no universe, like it's a fresh character. If I just got
those
Iron
were
Man
movies,
1,
yes.
Yeah. Iron Man 1 and Winter Soldier are like, they're close.
Because those don't need the universe to be great.
Right. And
right, exactly.
Thor Ragnarok kind of dabbles a little more into the universe, so that one might not be as good as just a standalone.
Yeah, it starts playing out a little bit more.
You kind of need Hulk in there, and you need the backstory with Loki, so that doesn't work as a standalone. Yeah. But definitely Iron Man is a great standalone, and then Winter Soldier for the most part. I mean, you know who Captain America is, so you don't need Captain America, the first Avenger, to tell the story of Winter Soldier, really. So those two are really up there.
You think of
The
it this
Dark
way.
Knight's probably the best superhero movie, just as a movie. Dark Knight probably is.
So think of the Justice League, Aquaman, Suicide Squad, all those movies. The Joker. Let me see your reaction on the Joker.
The Joker. So it's a good movie. The Joker's an amazing performance by an actor, is what it is. But as a movie, it's not a very enjoyable. I don't enjoy watching that.
No, way to be honest.
I don't enjoy that. There's nothing enjoyable about it. You're like, wow, Joaquin Phoenix can act his ass off. But for substance, for plot, for action, for anything interesting going on, it's not enjoyable. That's a hard movie to watch. It's just such an amazing performance. That's why everyone was like, "Oh my God, the Joker's the best movie ever." No, the dude knocked it out of the park. He went above and beyond with what he was supposed to do. That doesn't mean I wanted to see that.
They shouldn't have put the Joker to it. They should have made that movie and just made it some random guy.
They did. It was called Taxi Driver.
Yeah.
But that movie
with De Niro, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
It's the same. It's pretty close. But that movie,
pretty close.
I think that movie's kind of overrated too. It's not. that's another movie that's not that enjoyable to watch, and I just watched that recently.
What'd you watch lately?
I started watching the 1987 RoboCop, but I fell asleep. I've never seen it before, so I got to watch. I want to finish that. That's just a movie that everyone should watch at some point, I guess. But there's new movies don't really exist that much. So the last new movie I saw was Judas and the Black Messiah.
Yeah, how was that?
It was good. It's good. I mean, as a historical thing, like I would recommend people watch it just to know. But had that been a fictional story, it wouldn't blow you away as a movie. It was done really well, and the story it's a heartbreaking story. But I think you should watch it for its historical merits. But as just a film, it was good. No, not great. Wouldn't watch it again.
The Little Things, horrible. Not horrible.
Not horrible, but
the ending was horrible.
Yeah, not horrible, but it was. It's all right. Good performances.
Wasn't what I thought it was.
Good performances.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but yeah, I'm watching the Marvel. Something to throw on. I ain't really. If I have time to watch TV.
Yeah.
I'll have to have this baby, dog.
Good luck to you,
2
soldier.
weeks.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy. It's like an incoming missile, right?
La Sapena,
You know what's weird? Like, as the closer we get, I feel like I'm having a kid. And I try not, honestly, if I'm being 100% honest with you, I try not to talk to you about it because I start getting feelings. Like,
feelings of what?
Like, if I knew you had to get, like, hip surgery, I could talk to you about your surgery. Like, dude, this is going to suck. But, like, I feel like talking to you about having your kid like I'm about to have a kid. And I'm nowhere close to that. And it's just like,
there's nothing really to talk about.
You're right.
You know what I mean? Like,
until it happens.
What it is,
yeah.
But yeah, dude, it's coming. It's coming down the pipeline. It's coming quick. And you know what? I'm going to be ready for it.
I know you
When it comes through, I'm going to dunk that shit.
You're going to be way more ready than I will be. I can tell you that.
Yeah, but dude, listen to me. You keep getting flat tires. Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
What are you
know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, but I don't know, dog.
Well, it was good talking to you, soldier. We'll wrap.
What do we got coming up? What do we got coming up? What do we got? Anything good? Anything interesting?
Stipe and Ngannou's at the end of the month, right?
Yeah, I think Kevin Holland's fighting Derek Brunson. Might be a fun fight to watch.
It might be a fun fight, but Derek Brunson, it's like guys like him and like Corey Anderson. It's just so hard to like. You see him win 2, lose 3. It's hard to follow fighters like that, you know.
Yo, I know you're probably trying to get off here, but dude, I didn't talk to you about this yet. Real quick, give me the next 5 minutes if you got it. Listen, what was your opinion? What was your opinion on the Dak Prescott? First of all, what was your opinion on Ben Roethlisberger and actually coming to an agreement and figuring out and the Bud Dupree situation? I want you to elaborate just a little bit on those 3 things.
Ben Roethlisberger's the easiest one. I'll go with that one first. To everyone saying move off of Ben, please give me a single logical idea that makes sense. The recency bias is just so overblown with this because the way the season ended. Now we're saying he's the worst quarterback in the division. It's like statistically alone, he was like a top 10, top 5 quarterback in the league last year. The dude can play.
Are these Steelers
fall
fans?
off a cliff. It's everyone. Fans, not fans, media guys, ex-players. I've never seen people just so unanimously just wrong on this. And hey, who's to say we're not going to go 8-8 out there? But there's no. That's not going to happen to begin with. We're going to easily win 10 games. You heard it here first. Whenever you just say get rid of this guy who still has life left and you're just going to act like he just died 1,000 deaths last year, that's not what happened. Clearly, that's not what. If he was good enough to get the team 11-0, and the way we dropped off, it was so obvious that it wasn't just the quarterback.
If you couldn't see that it was structure,
oh God,
it was
what do
scheme.
people talk? I don't know what team you watched, what quarterback you watched last year. People are just so wrong about this. The dude's got plenty of ball left in him.
So leave
Bud
the
Dupree
Ben
thing.
Roethlisberger. Yeah.
Here's the way I look at it. You went out and drafted this dude in the first round, and he became everything you expected him to. Now I get when you drafted Bud Dupree, you didn't expect to get T.J. Watt. I understand that. But I saw T.J. Watt without Bud Dupree the last 5-6 games of the season, and I didn't like it. Had Bud Dupree finished out the season, T.J. Watt would have been Defensive Player of the Year. His stats would have been so much better than Aaron Donald's because T.J. Watt fell off at the end of the year. Now,
which I believe they were better already.
Yeah, and they were, but I'm saying he would have blown him out of the water. We need the bookends. We can't just have the one guy. We need both. Can we find another guy? Maybe. The thing Bud Dupree gets slept on is his run stop. One of the best run-stopping defenders in the league. We got run on. You remember? Once he was gone, our defense couldn't stop the run anymore. Bud Dupree's a huge part of that. Huge part of that. I can't say that the Steelers aren't exhausting every option to keep this guy. Maybe they are, and they're being hush-hush about it. I hope that's the case. I just hope, hey, maybe he did overplay himself, and maybe we can't afford him anymore, and that is what it is. I just hope we're exhausting every option to keep the tandem together. And I get that T.J. Watt's going to have an even bigger contract coming up next year, and we got to make sure we have him. But you take this guy in the first round, he meets your expectation, exceeds them. Why do we let a guy like that go? So we'll see what happens. I understand not franchise tagging him. Last time we franchise tagged a player, the same guy 2 years in a row, didn't work out well. Le'Veon Bell. So who's to say they're afraid of doing? I'd be afraid to do that with Bud Dupree and franchise tag him and have him sit out for a year. Not to say he would do that. Especially he would look really bad doing that because he was critical against Bell for doing so, but maybe that's why Pittsburgh didn't do it. Maybe they're saving the franchise tag for someone else. I don't know. All I'm saying is, if you draft a guy in the first round and he meets your expectations, why not? Why let that guy walk? Why? I don't know. If anything, you should have traded him when you had him under contract if you were willing to let him go. Got something in return for it. So that's my thoughts on that. Dak Prescott, kudos to him for playing hardball because Jerry Jones could have had him locked up 2 years ago for $30 million a year. So Jerry Jones dropped the ball on that one. I also like for his case that relatively it's a pretty small footprint in terms of the cap space. He got such a high signing bonus that he's only taken the cap for them is only like a $22 million hit. Now, this is not me wanting the Cowboys to be successful. It just is what it is. I feel like optically it looks like they're overpaying a player that doesn't look like Dak Prescott earned that kind of money, but in all reality for the Cowboys and how easy it is for the Cowboys to make money and to get players, I think they're good. I think it was a good deal overall.
How do you sign a guy that's coming off of a brutal injury like that and give him like one of the highest contracts ever? What did he perform well before?
So this is a guy that in 5 years didn't miss a game and then running the ball breaks his ankle. I mean, anyone could break their ankle in football at any time. And with today's technology and from everything I've heard, he is recovering at an alarming rate. So I don't think on paper what we saw of Dak Prescott doesn't equate to that contract. I don't think so. But
we're not saying.
I think
we're not saying a normal ankle break on a normal contract.
right.
He got the biggest contract.
Mm-hmm.
Probably the most. How much did Pat Mahomes get? 140?
No, Pat Mahomes' deal is way bigger. Way bigger.
How much?
Isn't it's like $400 million deal.
Oh, was it 400?
Yeah, it's.
But you still got him. Okay,
yeah.
Okay, so but you got him You got him at 160 million. That's huge.
Yeah. Oh, it's a huge deal. And it looks like it's too big. The way it's structured, though, with that big ass signing bonus, and knowing that a team like Dallas can afford it, I think it's actually a good deal for Dak. It was a great deal for Dak, and it's a good deal for the team. I think they're still gonna because guess what? Kansas City. Good luck signing other players now. Kansas City's screwed.
Yeah, but what's his guarantee this year? 70 million guaranteed or something?
Yeah. He's got
That's insane.
126 of the whole contract's guaranteed.
He got a 10-year deal for $503 million.
That's
Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, 10-year deal. Yeah, and it's
10-year
crazy.
deal.
Here's the weird thing to me. So Prescott goes in the same year as Goff and Wentz. Goff at the time got the biggest deal of any quarterback, and this is before Mahomes. Goff signs the biggest deal ever, and then Wentz is right up there. Both those dudes are on two new teams now, so that's where it looks a little weird. Not to say that Dak Prescott's the same as Goff and as Wentz. What provokes my thought is I think
the Cowboys will move on.
I think teams are going to. I think going forward with the quarterback turnover the way it is, I don't know, because you could say the quarterback deals are only going to get bigger, and maybe they will get bigger, but I think 1 and 2 year deals, 3-year deals, I think you're going to see more of that going. To me, that would make more sense because you got teams like the Eagles just moving off of Wentz and Goff getting traded, and now we're talking about Russell Wilson. It's like.
And Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, these big guaranteed contracts.
Releasing number 1 draft picks in Dwayne Haskins, right?
Right. I mean, I think teams are going to lean towards smaller contracts, or are going to try to, but it's tough. It's tough because whenever a quarterback goes out there and performs, he holds all the chips because we're in such a quarterback-driven league. I don't know.
Are we using Dewey for a trade or what?
No, we just signed. What are we doing with Haskins? I don't know, security blanket, I guess.
They're not going to use him to trade?
I don't think so. Because he was a free agent.
What?
Anyone could have picked him up. We didn't snag him up immediately. He was on the streets for a couple weeks. We didn't. No, get him
I know he was, but I'm like, but I don't see what their play is. But whatever.
I think he was cheap, talented, and available. I think that's what it was.
Okay.
You know,
just for a backup plan.
Yeah.
Who
and
knows?
then him and Mason will duke it out for the backup spot. And if you lose to Mason for a backup spot,
cut him.
Yeah. You know.
Yeah, I was just curious to see what your take was on that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's my thoughts on all that. So.
Sounds good. But all right, soldier.
All right, brother.
We're ending this thing.
Have a good night. Thanks for everyone watching. Everyone, subscribe.